to the C++ control code, as opposed to the sort of constructing the vectors in C, which we've done, I think, quite a good job of. But we're kind of hitting a local maximum on how well the C can do this. So this is really a big deal. And just all of the networks in the car need to move to surround video. There's still some legacy networks that are not surround video. And all of the training needs to move to surround video. And the efficiency of the training needs to get better, and it is. And then we need to move everything to raw photon counts as opposed to processed images.
Okay, so
which is quite a big reset on the training, because the system's trained on post-processed images. So we need to redo all the training to train against the raw photon counts instead of the post-processed image.
So ultimately, it's kind of reducing the complexity of the whole thing. So reducing
lines of code will actually go lower.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So you're doing fusion of all the sensors, so reducing the complexity of having to deal with each
fusion
sensor.
Of the cameras is there's not cameras really.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Same with humans. Well, I guess we got ears too. Okay.
Yeah. We'll actually need to incorporate sound as well, because you need to like listen for ambulance sirens, right, or fire trucks. Or if somebody like yelling at you or something. I don't know. Just there's a little bit of audio that needs to be incorporated as well.
Do you need a quick bathroom break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Okay.
Honestly, frankly, like the ideas are the easy thing, and the implementation is the hard thing. Like the idea of going to the moon is the easy part.
Yeah.
But going to the moon is the hard part.
It's the hard part.
And there's a lot of like hardcore engineering that's got to get done at the hardware and software level. Like I said, optimizing the C compiler and cutting out latency everywhere. Like this is, if we don't do this, the system will not work properly. So the work of the engineers doing this, they are like the unsung heroes to some, but they are critical to the success of the situation.
I think you made it clear. I mean, at least to me, it's super exciting. Everything that's going on outside of what Andre is doing.
Yeah,
just the whole infrastructure, the software. I mean, everything is going on with data engine, whatever it's called. The whole process is just a work of art to me.
The sheer scale of it is boggles the mind. Like the training, the amount of work done with, like we've written all this custom software for training and labeling, and to do auto labeling. Auto labeling is essential, because especially when you've got like surround video, it's very difficult to like label surround video from scratch is extremely difficult. It like take a human such a long time to even label one video clip, like several hours. Or the auto labeler, basically we just apply a heavy duty, like a lot of compute to the video clips, to pre-assign and guess what all the things are that are going on in the surround video.
And then there's like correcting it.
Yeah, and then all the human has to do is like tweet, like say this, adjust what is incorrect. Yeah. This is like increases productivity by effect 100 or more.
Yeah. So you've presented Tesla Bot as primarily useful in the factory. First of all, I think humanoid robots are incredible. From a fan of robotics, I think the elegance of movement that humanoid robots, the bipedal robots show are just so cool. So it's really interesting that you're working on this and also talking about applying the same kind of all the ideas of some of which we've talked about with data engine, all the things that we're talking about with Tesla Autopilot, just transferring that over to just yet another robotics problem. I have to ask, since I care about human-robot interaction, so the human side of that. So you've talked about mostly in the factory. Do you see it also? Do you see part of this problem that Tesla Bot has to solve is interacting with humans and potentially having a place like in the home? So interacting, not just not replacing labor, but also like, I don't know, being a friend or an assistant.
Yeah,
or something like that.
I think the possibilities are, endless. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously like it's not quite in Tesla's primary mission direction of accelerating sustainable energy, but it is an extremely useful thing that we can do for the world, which is to make a useful humanoid robot that is capable of interacting with the world and helping in many different ways. So in factories and really just I mean, I think if you say like extrapolate to many years in the future, it's like I think work will become optional. So like there's a lot of jobs that if people weren't paid to do it, they wouldn't do it. Like it's not fun, necessarily. Like if you're washing dishes all day, it's like even if you really like washing dishes, you really want to do it for 8 hours a day every day? Probably not. So and then there's like dangerous work, and basically if it's dangerous, boring, it has like potential for repetitive stress injury, that kind of thing, then that's really where humanoid robots would add the most value initially. So that's what we're aiming for is to for the humanoid robots to do jobs that people don't voluntarily want to do. And then we'll have to pair that obviously with some kind of universal basic income in the future. So I think.
So do you see a world when there's like hundreds of millions of Tesla bots performing different tasks throughout the world?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it that far into the future, but I guess that there may be something like that. So,
Can I ask a wild question? So, the number of Tesla cars has been accelerating. There's been close to 2 million produced. Many of them have autopilot.
I think we're over 2 million now. Yeah.
Do you think there will ever be a time when there will be more Tesla bots than Tesla cars?
Yeah, I actually, it's funny you asked this question because normally I do try to think like pretty far into the future, but I haven't really thought that far into the future with the Tesla bot, or it's codenamed Optimus. I call it Optimus Subprime because it's not like a giant transformer robot. But it's meant to be a general purpose helper bot.